Hello, Hazza from Hazza Reviews here with a brand new haircut. And let's get on to today's review, which is a film I just saw in theaters yesterday, actually. Don't Worry, Darling. Now, this is a film I didn't know really anything going into it. I didn't really watch any trailers. I didn't really look into what this premise is about. I just heard the actors and just went in blind. Which, I don't mind doing every now and then. It helped that I was actually going to go see this with my grandfather, so, not my poppy, so it was nice to do that. So we both watched it together, thinking we'll get one movie, but in the end we kind of got another. And, well, we left with pretty much the same opinion. And we were just confused. Yeah, that's the best way I can describe it, confused with one specific thing, but we'll get to that shortly. So I want to go over the basic premise is that this married couple lives in a 50s-style neighborhood in the desert and seem to be enjoying a pretty normal life, with their neighbors and members of the community. However, the wife starts to experience visions and random thoughts go into her and certain other things after she ventures out to see something that they're told is forbidden. Eventually, she starts, believing something's going on, and the person who founded the town is hiding something. You can kind of guess where this is going to go. But, predictable stories can work if they're engaging. And to be fair, the actors do a pretty good job with this script. I thought every actor was great. Florence Pugh is perfect as the wife, and she's pretty much. I'm amazed with Florence Pugh. I've only really started following her her career since Black Widow, but everything I've seen of her since then, she's been a really good actress, and I really hope she, continues to do a good job. Harry Styles plays her husband, and he does a good job when he, both when he's trying to be supportive but also secretive, because obviously he works for the person who created the town. So I thought he did well, and the other actors also do a good job. Gemma Chan, Nick Kroll, Chris Pine. There's a few others as well who I am familiar with, but I forget their names. But every single actor does a good job in this. I like the setting too. This 50s town, with saying out the cliche that this is in the 50s, and all that, and what the husband's driving off to work, the wives doing everything around the house, and doing their own things out in the community. It's pretty good, and I thought they captured it pretty well. And I think the use of the music also was good. I had a good time listening to certain songs I know from the Karunas, and all that. And there are some suspenseful moments that I think really do work in this film's favor. However, it's not. Well, yes, it can be suspenseful. It's also very confusing, as I said. Well, the story isn't anything to write home about and can work. In fact, honestly, I thought it was working for the first 2/3, but then again, you get to the ending. The final act, basically. I won't say much of where it starts, but I would say after Florence Pugh's character goes to a hospital she goes to a hospital to get therapy, is where things start to go downhill. You're left with millions of questions, especially when she confronts her husband. It is just insane. You don't get a minute to breathe. And I don't mind fast climaxes, but this just leaves so many questions with how this place works and how certain other things work out. I mean, it's implied that the husbands all the husbands know what's going on, but her best friend is also knows what's going on in the world, then then the wife of the person who founded the town finds out, and she does something that you maybe think, oh, she's probably going to do something at the very end, and finds out you don't, doesn't, and she's getting chased around and all that. This climax just leaves me with so many questions, and it's interesting how I feel like certain things they set up in this climax should be explored in a sequel, but this film doesn't really need a sequel. It's not really made for this. It should be self-contained, but I don't know, there's just these so many questions with that ending. My pop and I were just talking afterwards about what we experienced in that ending and what was actually going on. I would, and I mean, to be honest, I did have to look up the Wikipedia page so I can get some sort of understanding of what was going on with certain things in that ending, and it helped. But I don't know, that's not what I was getting at. I don't think the script was written correctly with that. And it's also interesting that there was one character who also went through hallucinations before Florence Pugh's character. And at some point she tries to end it all. Yeah, pre-Grimm. And what she does. And it's implied that she is actually saved and survived. But we don't see her again. And at various points I felt like she was just going to show up, but again, she just completely disappears. Is it she really dead? They say she's not, and yeah, this ending is just not good. Not good. It's not okay. It's not the worst ending to a film. There are much worse, but this is just so confusing. And it's because of that I can't really say you should go see it in theaters. If you have, and you're confused like I was, I would say just wait till it gets, shown on TV, on Netflix, whatever, DVD, whatever comes out first. So I can't really give it a recommendation. I can't really say you should definitely check this out. That ending is just so confusing. But in the end, I still enjoyed the first 2/3. But that ending definitely left a sour taste in my mouth. So because of it, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 10 Hasstars. I know I seem negative, but sometimes a bad ending can really ruin a film. Same thing with a TV series. I mean, I can only recall just how Game of Thrones ended every time. But that's a whole different kettle of fish. And besides, I've already talked about that in my series when I went through every episode 8, 3 years ago. Jeez, it's been that long. Anyway, well, so what's next? Well, Black Adam. Yep, I'm doing Black Adam. I'm going to see Black Adam next. I'm going to go to it in the next coming days, and I would say probably in 2-3 days after this review, the Black Adam review will come out. So yeah, more to look forward to with me. But after that, I got some more requests to look into. Just depends on which one I get to first. Especially since I don't know whether these films would be on Netflix. And I consider that a bit of a compliment to Netflix if that is the case. But we'll get to that when we get to that. In the meantime, this is Hasser from Hasser Reviews out, and I shall see you for my review of Black Adam. Ciao.